In 1957, when I was 11, now that's a mathematical question for you, which you'll have to work out yourselves. I was given this book by my parents on my birthday. And in it, it told me about, it's a book of water power, so it told me about how civil engineers, electrical and mechanical engineers come together to design dams to harness the power of water to make electricity. Now, of course, in the 50s, when this book was written, it was the North of Scotland Hydroelectric Board was busy building dams throughout the whole of the Highlands in Scotland. Because believe it or not, in the 50s there was a lot of places, remote places in Scotland with no electricity at that time. Anyhow, this book seemed to lodge a little... I remembered something about it. I took my hires, I got into university, and I graduated. And I have to say, it is 50 years ago I graduated from university. Okay, now what did I do after that? Where did it take me? Well, it was a bit of a round trip, in fact, via Glasgow and back to Glasgow. But it took me to, yes, exciting, eh? But in between times, there was 2 trips to the Middle East. And the first one was in the 70s when there was the 3-day week and electricity cuts and so forth. My wife and I, plus a 2-year-old and a 6-week-old baby girl, went off to the Middle East, staying in a little house on the edge of the desert, watching camels going by. Looking back on it now, we were completely mad. There was a bit more stint in the Middle East, and then ended up in Aberdeen and some work up in the Orkney and Shetlands. What was I doing? Well, there was quite a lot of buildings involved initially, hospitals in Glasgow, a tanker berth in the Firth of Forth, and in ports and harbours. That was all my work in the Middle East and in London. And then more buildings and sea defences along the coast, onshore wind farms and urban flood alleviation schemes. Now, the dry dock refurbishment is one I'll come to later. And it was all designing things and seeing it actually come to fruition. That was the exciting part for me. This was the Nigg dry dock. Now, the Nigg is up in the Cromarty Firth, and this was in the 1970s, used for the North Sea oil industry, and that was a jacket structure ready to go out to the North Sea. This was it in 96. It had been derelict for 18 years, and it was no longer usable. The gate itself was sealed shut. We were commissioned to actually get it up and running, and we put a new quay wall in here for 1,000-ton loads. We got the gate operational again, and lengthened the dock for bigger vessels. And then about 2 months ago, a friend of my son's, who's learning flying from Inverness Airport, happened to go across. He wasn't commissioned. Happened to fly across it, and this is the dock now, being used for the offshore industry, for the offshore turbine industry and wind farms. So, what happened to that dam? Well, I'm afraid it didn't happen, and I didn't fulfill my dreams. But you know what? I don't give a damn. Thank you.